It was in the year 1580 when we arrived in this god-forsaken place, myself and several hundred of my brethren. The year 1580 when we were sent by His Holiness Pope Gregory the 13th to aid an Irish rebellion that was called the Second Desmond Rebellion, and we were led into battle by our brave commander Sebastian de San Giuseppe. Yes, 1580 when we arrived never to return to our homelands. We had initial good cheer after landing in the Bay of Semmerwick, whereby we swiftly captured the town and everything was going to plan. But then disaster struck. The English forces regrouped and they took the town and forced us back into a fort nearby, which is called Dunoora. We retreated there in an attempt to regroup ourselves, but the English kept coming. They surrounded and besieged us and bombarded us with their artillery. As more and more reinforcements were drafted in under the command of Ormond and Earl Grey. To make matters worse, we were prevented from escaping on our ships by Richard Bingham, who had organised a naval blockade in the bay itself, and our situation quickly became hopeless. And then our last vestige of hope disappeared too, when we realised our salvation that was to be provided by the forces of Desmond, Baltinglass and John of Desmond failed to materialise. And so we were left with one last card to play: surrender. We forwarded terms for a conditional surrender to the leaders of the English forces we faced, but they refused and continued to bombard us. So we had to settle for an unconditional surrender and put ourselves at mercy of the English. But no such mercy was forthcoming. An evil massacre was unleashed by the heathen English, as one by one we were led to our bloody deaths past the English leaders: the Earl of Ormond, Arthur Grey, the 14th Baron Grey de Wilton, Sir Richard Bingham, Admiral William Winter, and even Sir Walter Raleigh. All were present and stood proudly by as our screaming heads were taken from our shaking bodies. We were cursed to haunt this evil place for eternity, as those heathen English leaders are cursed by their actions to spend their eternities in hell.